felt that he did a commendable job of putting it together and getting the story right, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, we both do. I don't know if you've got any more questions, but Mike and I are off back home tomorrow. We're going home to snow. But we want you New Yorkers to know that you have hosted the two of us unbelievably. You turned on the weather. You gave us one of the greatest anniversary rides in Central Park and we treated ourselves for our anniversary. And we've heard all about New Yorkers, and not all of it good news, but I'd like to tell you, we did not find one surly individual or one rude individual. We found wonderful people who were amazed we'd come this far, but also people that were very genuine. And the only thing we have to say about your drivers is, we want to go home now. And we do, actually, gold is where you find it. But when the questions are finished, we have some gold we'd like to hand out from the real Klondike to 2 or 3 people in the audience. So if you feel you're deserving, stick around. It's not very much.
You might trigger a modern gold rush right now. All of a sudden there are no questions now.
What happened to the original nitrate films? Are they stored? How are they stored? And then do you photograph them and make copies of them so that you can keep on watching them, or what happens there?
So the original, there was 533 reels, and the bulk, I think 149 were deemed as Canadian content, so those remained in Ottawa, the nitrate remained in Ottawa. And the other, however many that is, 350 or 370 or so, whatever it is, went to Library of Congress, and now they're housed. The original nitrate is housed in Culpeper. Now I'm dear friends with the nitrate vault manager in Culpeper, and he can't stand the Dawson City collection. He just thinks it's taking up shelf space, you know. So it's always, you know, corroded. You can't, you know, it's crumbling and stuff like that. And so I asked him. I said, George, how many of the original nitrate of the 300 or whatever you had left? And he's like, oh, I think there's maybe 270 left now, you know. And then I asked Paul Gordon, I said, of the 149 reels that were housed in Ottawa, how many are left? He said, 148, you know. So there's a different prioritization of the nitrate, but I should say that all of it was converted to a safety stock back in 1979. And you know, when I began research, I was looking at 35 millimeter reference prints on a flatbed, and they were gorgeous. There wasn't a scratch on them. There wasn't any dust on them. If I left one tails out and came back 3 months later, that reel was still tails out. So that's what gave me an idea that nobody was looking at these reference prints, you know. And you could use these reference prints to make the new 4K scans, and as coincidentally as it could be, at that same time, a new DTS scanner was being installed.
Do you have to keep them at a cold temperature to keep them from exploding?
They have to
or
we have real archivists here, but it's under 40 degrees and at 40% humidity, and you have to have ventilation so that there's no accumulation of the fumes, because that's where you can have problems. But it stores pretty well under good conditions, and much better than any of our hard drives do, you know. Even it's probably the best way to store it would be to put it in a swimming pool and cover it with
Well, yeah, I don't think we can hide this any longer.
Okay. Normally what we do with this is we stick the gold under seats. But your seats flip up, so that makes that impossible. We used to stand there and have the giggles while everybody's madly trying to see who won the vote. So we've got to be go a little easier on you all.
Well, it worked out really well the other day when you just called random seats, right?
Close your eyes.
first row, middle.
You gotta say a number.
Oh, I don't know numbers, so I'll just say,
It's probably between 1 and 30.
Well,
1 and
that's
20.
actually, the middle is actually 2 people.
well, they can share.
All right, so,
And then,
It's a retirement fund.
how about row number 4? Person on the far left, my far left. And
that's,
you want one more?
no, that's good.
Want to come down and
These are
collect your
just,
prize.
this is genuine Klondike Gold Flakes. It's worth about $20.
Split it between 2 people
Yeah.
is 10.
And they were found, the gold came out of Dominion Creek, so there's a little map in there, but it's genuinely from the Klondike. And there's a Yukon calendar for next year to go with it.
And so one of you doesn't get the gold, so we're gonna give you Yukon larger than life. We hope to see you in the Yukon someday.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone, so much. And thank you, everyone.